You stayed real busy this last year, which has not been the easiest for folks to do. That doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me because you're the kind of person who pivots quickly and figures out how to make things work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a good 15 years of almost nonstop touring. And just on this, I always equate it to being on this hamster wheel, just going nonstop. And suddenly, just the hand of nature came down and was like, stop. And didn't realize how much of life I was missing out on, how
Right.
much living. Last year felt like the first year in a very long time that I lived. Just little things like this studio that I'm doing this in. I've had this place for 18 years. Last year was the first year that I realized that every July into August, all these raspberries and blackberries grow around the whole edge of the property in the back. And I missed it for all those years. I never even knew. And I just saw it as I walked in one day. It's like, what is all that? Or I just wanted to take a walk around the yard in the back. And I noticed it all. So every morning I would get here with just a little container and I would spend maybe a half hour outside in the sun just picking fresh berries, put them in the fridge. Before I left, the sun turned even more of them purple and the blackberries and would pick even more, take them home. And Mrs. Foot would make cobblers and muffins. And that's something, a whole, that like, that's one of those memories of 2020. You know, we've had a lot of deaths in the family, deaths of friends, deaths of family of friends, like all of that. And we've all dealt with tons of that. And you know the illness itself that so many of us had, or someone we know has had it, and not everybody did so great with it. You know, there's no denying that.
Right.
But at the same time, when I look back on 2020, I made sure that there's going to be some really fond memories in there. And when I think of 2020, what I'm going to remember is those days of just having just this feeling of pure peace and just picking those berries. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that for the rest of my life, I take time to do that. So if nothing else, I think we all were forced to stop grinding so much and realize the importance of balance. Like every morning, I read for about an hour, all different wacky shit. And one of the things that I come across so often is people in the final years of their life, just from age and in their wisdom, one thing that they all say is, I wish I didn't work so much.
Right. Yeah. Nobody ever says on their deathbed, I wish I would have worked more and spent less time with my family.
Mm-hmm. And we should listen. You know, I think that's the mistake at every age, that you know we don't know what it's like to be in that next place, and we don't have that wisdom, and we only know what we know. So it's hard to even see things that we can't recognize yet, that we don't understand yet, that we haven't lived yet. And I think the older I get, the greater respect I have for every generation before me. They have lived through so much more, and just they present such a great example of getting through things that to us, some of our biggest problems we have, you know, that we'll bitch and moan about is, damn, I don't have the latest gadget, or the bar is closing at 10 p.m. because of this damn COVID. You know,
Right.
you're talking about people that lost everything, people that were at the front lines of serious war, uh, you know, people that made such radical social change and moved society forward, where I think there's a lot of younger folks today, and I was one of those younger folks when I was a younger folk, that might look at people twice my age and say, oh, they don't understand, they don't know, they don't this, they don't that, they don't get today. They get it more than anybody and twice as much. If you really want to learn shit about life and be humbled by the strength of people, talk to someone that was in World War II
Yeah.
or in the Korean War. You will be in awe of the kind of lives they've lived and the things that they've accomplished.